Good morning, boys and girls. So today is going to be lesson 8.3. It's going to be a little bit different just because if we were in the classroom, we would be using something called algebra tiles. However, we're not in the classroom, so I'm going to have to ask you to be creative, okay? So lesson 8.3 is called Model and Solve Addition Equations, and we are answering the question of how can you use models to solve addition equations. And here we go. So in order to do this lesson, you're going to need either a notebook to draw in. So you can use your math notes, you can use a piece of paper, but you need something to draw on, or in, I guess. Or if you want to get creative, you can get some colored paper and cut it up into rectangles and squares. And you'll see on the next slide what I mean by that. The rectangle paper should be the same color and about the same size, and they're going to represent X tiles. The square paper should be a different color than the rectangle, and these are going to represent your 1 tiles. You could also use snacks if you wanted. Something I saw online was people use pretzels for the X tiles and Chex Mix or some kind of square snack for the 1 tile. It doesn't have to be a square snack. You could use goldfish or maybe candy if you have some candy. So what do I mean by that? Here we go. Okay, so on the next slide, this is an X tile right here, okay, and then this is a 1 tile. It's just worth 1. You can also draw it on your piece of notebook paper or in your notebook. You just need something that's going to represent the X and something that's going to represent a 1 tile. So here's an example, like if you were going to use pretzels, the pretzel, this long pretzel could be your X tile, and then the little square tile, little square Chex Mix or snack can be 1 tile. So I'm on page 315 in your Go Math. That's page 315. And if you ever need to just stop this recording, you totally can. You just pause it and then go get your stuff, okay? So I changed the name again. And so the investigate says, Jorge has $2. He wants to buy a video game that costs $7. So we're going to model and solve the equation x plus 2 equals 7 to find the amount in dollars that Jorge needs to save in order to buy, oh, it says the poster, it should say video game, buy the video game. There you go. So you're going to use your algebra tiles to model the equation. So you're going to model x plus 2 on the left and then 7 on the right. And what does that mean? What does that look like? So here's my x on the left, plus 2, 1, 2 on the left. And then on the right, I have 7 squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right? In order to solve this equation, you need to get the x tile by itself on one side. So if you remove a tile from one side, you can keep the 2 sides equal by removing the same type of tile from the other side. So what does that mean, Miss Carmona? So I have this little x. So if I take 1 tile away, boom, right? I have to do the same thing to the other side, so I'm going to do that over here, boom. And then I'm going to say, okay, well, I still have to get x by itself, so I'm going to take away another tile. So I'm going to take away that tile. And I'm putting x's on it because it's easier for me on the computer. So if I have 2 over here that I got rid of, I've got to get rid of another one over here. So I'm going to get rid of this one. Okay, so now I have to write the solution of the equation x is equal to blank. So looking at this, what is this x or this rectangle equal to? How many ones do I have left? I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So then you would say that x is equal to 5, correct? So that means that Jorge needs to save $5 in order to buy the poster. So notice how we wrote that the solution of the equation is x equals 5. You have to write that whole thing. This is the entire solution. You can't just say 5. You have to say x equals 5. Okay, if you are confused, pause the video and go back. Start again. The next problem is on the next page. Page 316, it's called Make Connections. So it says you can solve an equation by drawing a model to represent the algebra tiles. Let a rectangle represent the variable like we did here, and let a small square represent 1. So we're going to solve the equation x plus 3 equals 7. So in your book, they have a spot for you to draw this model. So I want you to draw it because you're going to have to practice. So you're going to draw one rectangle on the left side and then 3 ones underneath it or next to it on the left side. On the right side, you're going to draw 7 ones or 7 squares to represent 7. So on the left side over here, I have x plus 1, 2, 3 equals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're going to get the variable by itself on one side of the model by doing the same thing to both sides. So what does that mean, Miss Carmona? That means that we got to x out 1 on that side, 1 on this side. 1 on this side, 1 on the other side. 1 on this side, 1 on the other side. So I've x'd out 1, 2, 3 on the left, so you're xing it out in your notes or in your Go Math. And on the right side, you're also exiting out off some of them, 1, 2, 3. So on both sides, you've crossed out 3 of the 1 tiles, 3 on the left, 3 on the right. So what are you left with? You're left with x, which is your bar, is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. So then here, you would write x is equal to 4. Okay, make sure you write that in. I didn't write it in right now, but I can do that real quick right here. I'm going to write 4. Oops, not very nice, but it's okay. All right, so basically that's what you're going to do. Your assignment is to complete page 317 all, that whole page. Okay, and if you have time, I'd like you to go back and do some review from yesterday, which is going to be on page 314A. That gray page, I want you to do all of it. If you have more time, you're more than welcome to do some of the word problems or rewatch this video if it was kind of confusing. But basically, you're drawing out your x's plus whatever they tell you on the left, and on the right, you're going to write down what it's equal to, and you're going to practice crossing them out on the left, crossing them out on the right. That's it. All right, guys, good luck. Talk to you later.